Hello, welcome to episode 93 of the JLE. The goal is to get to 100. Thank you so much for being here.
Driving the Waymos. No. They are just randomly stopped.
It's a person?
Yeah. It's
there's somebody in there?
Yeah, there's somebody in there.
I can't get out the car.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry.
We can't get out the
you were in there.
I kept saying it like I can't.
Why you bang on the window, girl? We could have saved you.
Self-driving taxis? Why wouldn't you want an actual taxi driver? The smell of urine dropping you off kind of where you wanted to go. And sorry, got no change, mate, but I just gave you a 20.
You need help? Oh my goodness.
It's stuck.
Somebody's in there.
Oh my gosh. And they're stuck. Like the door is locked. And it's not letting you out.
You can't get out?
Self-driving cars seem another bad idea to me unless every single car on the road is self-driving in some sort of tram system or whatever. New app lets you speak with your deceased loved ones.
See? Oh, honey, that's wonderful.
Mom, would you tell Charlie that bedtime story you always used to tell me?
Once upon a time, there was a baby unicorn. How was school today?
It was really fun.
Look who's gonna be a great grandmother.
Congratulations.
Mom, I just need a quick video.
Is this like an audition or something?
No, Mom. Just 3 minutes.
You need my best.
Well, that is dark. We are entering some really murky waters here. Who wouldn't want to talk to their mother again? But it just seems a bit sick to me, to be honest, when that is not actually your loved one and they are not receiving those experiences with you. What do you make of that? It's a really interesting point of discussion. Honeycomb hexagon grid caught around the sun.
Aims the camera up at the sky and catches this phenomenon. Look at the hexagons in the sky. Some kind of grid or screen, or what is that?
What is going on right now? What the? Y'all see the honeycomb?
To me, that looks like a reflection. Is this tomfoolery from the uploader? I don't know. I've only looked at it for a few seconds. I mean, it is weird. I was recording a time lapse of a cruise leaving the port and realized I captured something else. Do you know what's interesting to me there is the quick change of direction. It doesn't just go straight up. You see right there it changes path. It's kind of flying in an arc and then suddenly straightens up and goes up vertically. That's a good one.
Oh, Mr. Coldstone. I don't feel so good.
That is some epic brain freeze. The only way to fix it is to keep drinking.
Hi, I'm Brianna, and the Boo Batter Shake is very good. And what I said was a joke about me not liking it. See? It's good.
Close your mouth.
Well, that's her passport picture sorted. The viral side of the internet never fails to disappoint if ever there was an argument to pull the plug on the whole thing.
They're jumping in. Look at them all. These are all monkeys jumping in. Oh my.
Firstly, look at the colour of that water. Secondly, she sounds great. Thirdly,
And it's raining monkeys. This is like crazy.
that was great. Do any of you live in Florida? Are monkeys belly flopping into the water a regular occurrence?
So today we did Walmart delivery for groceries, snacks and all the things needed at the house. But then after getting home from work, the kids got home from school. They asked for a snack and I opened the bag of Cheesepuffs, gave my daughter a few of them. When my other daughter noticed something in the bag, so we dumped it out. And this is what was in our bag of Cheesepuffs.
What's she complaining about? That's the best part. I hope one of you is eating sausages right now whilst watching this.
We had 2 bags, opened up the other bag just in case, and we found a flake in that bag. I think it's a snake.
I mean, I'd still eat them because, you know, Cheesepuffs, but that is suitably horrible. Is it a snake? What is that? It looks like the insides of Frankenstein.
Our chicken ain't real no more, y'all. Why is this chicken bending like a damn bird band? Like, ain't this supposed to like break? What's going on here? Our chicken ain't real, bro. What?
pull it apart.
Bro, this shit is tough.
It's junk food. When has cheap fast food ever had high quality meat? It's ground up mush battered, basically. I'll stick to the cheese puffs, thanks.
A lot of you have been commenting on You Know Who's video, and it's kind of got me wondering, is human cloning possible?
I don't know who she means, but she makes videos about Hollywood celebrities looking different, so I'd guess it'd be one of them.
We're able to clone Dolly the sheep, and they also resurrected a pair of dire wolves. However, most believe that human cloning is an absolute reach. However, they've hinted to it in movies like Multiplicity.
By a miracle of modern science, I just need a little time for myself. Doug Kinney is about to get the one thing he needs more of. Doug, your clone. Self.
Like in the newly released movie Mickey 17, where Robert Pattinson's character hates his life on Earth so much that he signs up to be an expendable.
Mickey, deep breaths. Imagine there's an unknown virus in the air, and you're sucking in every single microscopic particle floating around.
And then you have the movie The Substance, in which Demi Moore's character is so desperate for youth that she uses a black market substance extracted from her younger self. A lot of you call this conspiracy, but what if we've known about this for a long, long time? Listen closely.
Through, it's called SCNT, it was announced all over the news, and I broke through taking my old skin cell. I took a woman's egg, took her DNA out of it, put my DNA into it, and grew it in vitro, and developed my own lines. Wow. I'm the only guy in the world today who has me in a petri dish before I was born.
And after only 2 years of not being able to obtain his substance, he went from this to this, which makes me wonder.
I googled this guy and my conclusion is someone burned that petri dish. Again, this is so dark, playing with the concept of life. Well, we're definitely experimenting with all sorts of anti-aging protocols, but whether or not we have a literal effective substance, as she says, I'm skeptical, but in the future, who knows? Oh, the good old Sekhmet weirdness. I have an older video where I showed this in more depth, where someone captured a ghost picture next to the statue and other weird things were happening. It does seem a really strange place to visit.
In 2012, deep in the mountains of Afghanistan, a US Special Forces team reportedly vanished inside a cave. What they found, according to rumors, wasn't a weapon or a bunker. They found something far stranger. A metallic craft buried in stone shaped like no aircraft known to man.
I doubt there's hard evidence available to us to corroborate that story, but I'm all in.
They found a Vimana, a 5,000-year-old flying engine described in India's ancient texts. And the soldiers, they were sucked into a time bubble. What? I know that sounds fantastical, but let's rewind. What actually is a Vimana? In the Sanskrit epics Mahabharata and Ramayana, the gods didn't just fly. They piloted gleaming ships that could rise into the sky like a sun, fire blazing missiles, and even cross into the realm of the stars. Some were as huge as a palace, covered in gold and mirrors. Others, like King Ravana's Pushpaka Vimana, could travel anywhere at the speed of thought. Sounds like a UFO. And yeah, this all sounds like mythology. But here's where it gets weird. A text called the Vimana Shastra claimed to be a technical manual on how Vimanas actually work, complete with fuel recipes, flight instructions, and anti-gravity principles. How did an ancient text know anything about all this?
Vimanas are really intriguing. Have any of you read Chariots of the Gods? The idea that these UFOs are actually on top of temples now that we see this advanced technology hiding in plain sight.
Hey, can somebody please explain to me what this is? Because it appeared out of nowhere. There's not a single plaque around it. It looks like it either came up from the ground or plopped down from the sky. Upon further inspection, it has markings like a bird, a boat, a fish. There's a wolf over here, a turtle, a flamingo, I don't know, a crane maybe. What's strange is I come to this park every day to walk my dog. And normally it's just a big open field, but today, this has appeared.
Wait till all the dogs wee on it. I'm just saying I could see that becoming a central part of their excretion protocol.
What's strange is I come to this park every day to walk my dog. And normally it's just a big open field, but today, this has appeared. And there isn't a plaque. Like I said, no plaque. It looks like it was dropped out of the sky or came up from the ground. So should I call a historical society? Did someone from the Parks and Rec department drop it off?
Something legendary has landed in Foker Park. The new grandfather stone with its dragon-like design now stands proudly in our park, bringing a touch of character, history, and imagination to our town. Now that's pretty cool, and I can understand why she was stunned as one of the first people to see it.
When you're visiting Mount Rushmore, if you want it all to yourself, just come at night. It's open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., but usually anytime after 10. There's nobody here, as you can see.
Well, that looks creepy. That's the way to take it in. It's one of those things I've seen on TV so much that if I actually saw it in real life, it would be surreal.
You just brought up the unfinished obelisk in Egypt. That was by far the largest obelisk that they had ever created, okay? More than double the size of the biggest one.
Right.
Meanwhile, in Easter Island, the largest moai ever that was being created, like 2 to 3 times bigger than any of the moai that are there, was being taken out of the host rock, just like in Egypt. Meanwhile, you go across the world to China. You go to a place called Yangshan Quarry in China, and they were in the middle of taking out the largest blocks in human history. Some of them weighed like well over 1,000 tons. Meanwhile, you add one more, Baalbek, Lebanon, and the quarries there, they were taking out the largest that they'd ever done, and they never made it out of the quarry. What you have in common with all of these locations from everywhere around the world is that the civilization was in the midst of creating the largest that they'd ever created of these structures, which means that they're at the height of their civilization because they were taking on the biggest projects they'd ever done globally. Everyone was. And then all of a sudden the work stopped out of nowhere and they just vanished. That tells us a few things. It tells us, one, they probably were caught off guard somewhat, or they wouldn't be taking on massive projects right before they're about to be destroyed. And two, the scope of these events must have been so severe that most of them must have perished.
Firstly, how tight is that shirt? That button is holding on for dear life. Secondly, that seems to fit with the Graham Hancock idea that there was some type of mass cataclysm that wiped out an unknown advanced civilization. These monoliths are fascinating. Göbekli Tepe, another one.
But that's insane. I've never seen this before. Everybody, it's 5:32 in the morning, and this is what the moon looks like. Absolutely insane. Look at the moon. Then there's looks like the moon's splitting in half. There's another light flickering. I don't even know what to say, guys. Wow.
Our overlords forgot to focus it correctly before that man woke up. I don't know what that is. There's probably an explanation, but seeing that first thing in the morning would suitably freak me out.
Listen closely. Disney's dropping Tron Ares on October 10th, 2025. That date is 10/10. 10/10 in binary code, a digital code. Perfect for a movie about humans merging with machines. That's not random. That's ritual. Now check the sky. 4 days before the release, we get a full moon in Aries today. Aries the warrior, Aries the god of war. Full moons expose what's been hidden, and that's the energy of revelation, conflict, and identity coming into the light.
Well, that was more interesting than the actual film.
By October 10th, the moon shifts into Gemini, the twins, the mirror, the code. Gemini rules duplication and dual realities. Exactly what Tron is about. Humans and programs, flesh and code. At the same time, the sun sits in Libra. Laws, contract, balance, justice, ma'at. So this release is literally Aries war versus Libra law, broadcast through Gemini's network. Now that's cosmic timing. And look at the trailer. The worlds will collide. In Ultron, humans entered the grid. In Aries, the grid comes here.
I wish I would have had a guy like that at work. Lunch times would have been so epic.
Digital warriors, weapon, life cycles ripping through our cities. And Aries himself, if he is destroyed, I'll just make another. That's what's said in the trailer. That's identity, treated like data, replaceable, replicable, and disposable. Now connect the dots. Governments are rolling out digital IDs at the same time. The UK just announced mandatory IDs for work, the Brit card. The Bahamas is moving towards a single digital ID. Biometric data will be collected if you come to Europe, regardless of passport. Across the globe, ID is being coded, centralized, and turned into a digital twin.
I mean, it's hard to argue against that point. Digital ID and biometrics are everywhere now. The question is, how far will it go, and how essential a part of our daily lives will it become for us to, operate in the world?
Look at what they're doing with Michael Jackson, Biggie, and Bob Marley in Sora 2, taking the deceased and making them alive in our reality. Tron's Ares is prophecy in disguise. It shows you what happens when the grid stops being separate, when the digital world steps into your flesh and blood reality. And the way they present it is the same way governments and corporations push digital ID. They sell it as powerful, fast, safe, and necessary.
These types of videos are gripping. Whether or not people are making connections that just aren't there to fit a narrative, possibly.
And here's the hidden layer nobody talks about. Transhumanism is the ultimate endgame. The goal isn't just a digital ID on your phone, it's a digital ID inside your body. Biometrics, implants, brain-machine links, and a merger of flesh and code until you are part of the grid itself.
The idea that we may have implants in the future as some sort of ID isn't too hard to imagine. This has been the James Linker Experience. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.